One of the things I like so much about Highland Pro is that we let you set up your experience to be exactly what you want. So in your editor, you can change your font size to be whatever you want. You can change the editor font. And you can also change the colors of everything you see on screen. Other apps might give you the choice of light mode or dark mode. In Highland, you can change anything to whatever colors you like. And that's what we call themes. So let's take a look at themes, both the default built-in themes and themes you can edit for yourself. So if we switch to Highland and take a look, this is the sort of default theme of Highland. So we've got a light background, we've got a gray sidebar, and you set your theme in this theme popover. So Highland Pro's default theme, but you can switch to Solarized Light, or Solarized Dark, or Monokai. Whatever you like to look at all day in your screen is great, or if you want to change that up based on your mood, great, change up what you're seeing with themes. So these are the default themes. They're really good for most situations, but you might decide, you know what, I want my own custom theme. There's something that speaks to me. You can do that by managing your themes. You can either hit the bottom button here or go to Settings, Themes, and create a new theme. So let's click on that button. And it's going to ask you first off, what do you want as the basis for your theme? So you don't have to start from scratch. And let's say we wanted to make a new light theme. So we'll choose this Highland Pro light theme and create theme. Now you're given a choice of, here are all the elements you see on screen. Let's pick some colors for them. So let's start with the editor background. Maybe you really have in your heart that you want a very green theme. You just want green all over the place. So click on editor background and we're going to switch and drag this over to a very bright green. That's maybe not quite so bright. And then your navigator background, the stuff on the left here, let's have that be a lighter green. Sure. And then maybe you want the actual body text, the main thing that we're looking at, to be not a solid black, but sort of also in a green space. So let's maybe make that this kind of green. All right, so we've now created our very green theme. Maybe that speaks to you, but maybe it doesn't. And maybe you just really want to emulate something else you saw online. That's really easy to do in Highland as well. Let's take a look at how we might do that. Let's get rid of our green theme here and pick a new one. So let's create a theme here that is based off Highland Pro. And what I really want to emulate this time is this thing I saw online. This is from a VS Code screenshot here. But wow, I really like what they've done here. I like the sort of light pink background. I like the colors that they're using. Let's see if we can do this for ourselves. So we'll start with this background. So we'll click here on the main background, editor background right here. Click the little tool, the little eyedropper here, and click that to grab that color. And then for the navigator background, rather than our gray, let's use the eyedropper here to pick this slightly lighter color. I like the contrast between the two of those. Now, we can do this with all the elements we see on screen right now, but like to zoom in and try to get to the little individual pixels of these fonts might be a little bit tricky. Luckily, the thing I'm looking at is an existing theme that's available for a lot of different editors called Rose Pine, specifically Rose Pine Dawn. And if you just go to rosepinetheme.com, you'll see they have a whole setup here that explains the whole palette. So from here, you can see like, oh, these are the choices that they made for these different kinds of editor elements. So I'm curious what they're using for their text. And if you hover over here, it shows like, oh, this is for Rose Pine Dawn. This is what they're using as their text color. You can actually just click on it and it copies the color code for you. And here you can just paste that into the spot where you want to go. So there's our text. It's sort of a lighter purple color. I'm also noticing that our navigator text looks really dark by comparison to everything else. So let's pick something a little bit lighter for that. Let's pick what they're choosing as their subtle. And again, we're clicking. And then for navigator text, we are going to just paste that into a little field. And that is already looking really good. So we can go through this and customize all the different elements based on things that they're using in the Rose Pine theme officially, or whatever sort of suits our taste. When we're done, just let's give it a name. We'll call this Rose Pine Dawn. Click done. And it is now available for us to use on our windows. So if we go back to Big Fish here, right now we are in Monokai, but at the bottom you see we've added Rose Pine Dawn as a theme. Click on that, and that is a beautiful looking window. That's actually just a delight to write in. Now, if we love this theme and we want to share it with friends, that's also really easy to do. So again, I'll go back to settings here. This is our Rose Pine Dawn theme. Click on this little share button, and we get a code here that we can copy and email to somebody, text to somebody. They can open it up in Highland and paste it in themselves by clicking Import Theme. They paste that in, and suddenly they have your theme with its name and all its colors chosen. So that is how you set up and install themes, custom themes, default themes in Highland Pro. It's really worth customizing it to your experience, because really the goal of Highland is to make it so that this thing that you're looking at all day is as delightful as possible. You deserve nice things, and Highland is going to give you something nice to look at. So that's themes. Enjoy.